All right, welcome to What You're Playing. My name is Nick. This is Dara. Raise your hand.
Hello.
And Mike T.
What's up?
Pretty slow on the draw.
We're here to talk video game industry. If you didn't know, if it's your first time listening to this,
this is a podcast between two former YouTubers who both failed at it, and also my roommate from college. How we all doing?
Can we? You know what? Actually, no. Correction. We didn't fail at it. We just gave up.
Yeah, we get. Well, I mean that counts.
YouTube failed us.
No.
We
didn't know how to dab. We didn't know how to play Fortnite. So it completely fell apart. It fell apart for us.
Well, that was pre-Fortnite anyway.
No, it wasn't. Was it pre-Fortnite? The
Oh,
last
dude,
channel was the last channel was only like 2 years ago.
All right, I wasn't sure which one you were talking about.
There's been a lot.
Which failure?
There's been many failures. You know, you just keep failing until you succeed or die, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This
one's currently a failure, but you never know.
I think every time that either of us attempted it, we gave it our best. I mean, I thought I wasn't like slacking when it came to video thumbnails. I just like jumped in and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to imitate the best, but
yeah.
I just didn't give it a long enough chance, I guess.
Well, this podcast is not called. This podcast is not called "How Did You Fail?" It's called "What You Playing." So
we got a game of life.
Yeah, we got a couple news stories to talk about this week in the gaming industry. PS5 and its backwards compatibility stuff. Sony dumped a bunch of money into Epic, and also a big record for the sale of a sealed Mario Brothers cartridge. What do you want to do first?
Yeah. Why don't we talk about Epic?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of a cool success story for Epic. So we have an article on Venture Beat, and it goes over how Sony has invested $250 million for a minority stake in Fortnite maker Epic Games, and both companies announced it, obviously. Epic Games has raised almost $2 billion to date, and the company said the deal cements an already close relationship, reinforces their shared goal to advance the state-of-the-art in technology, entertainment, and socially connected online services. Now, the crazy thing, like the surprising thing to me, was that the $250 million investment was just a 1.4% stake in Epic. Like,
well, when you think about Epic, I mean,
they're Epic.
Yeah, they are Epic. I mean, Fortnite is like, it's not a game anymore. It's like a platform now. The things that they do with it, they'll release like movie trailers inside of it. They have giant events where they shut off the whole universe and then bring it back. It's like the movie tie-ins that they get. Like it's a whole thing. It's it's extreme. I've never played Fortnite. I have it installed. I've never played it. Spent too much time with Apex Legends.
I never installed it. I completely stayed away from it.
Yeah, I've never played it either, but
and also,
it looks interesting.
The Epic Store is something really special where there's free games every week, is it, or every month? You just they just give away free games. I've probably got like 10 games for free.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing amazingly well. I mean, you can't really hate on them. I mean, all companies have like weird practices, but they've been good. You know,
people do hate on them quite a bit though, because they just want everything to live in Steam because they've been doing Steam forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're not as annoying as like EA or what's the other one?
Activision.
Yeah.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Do you have the Epic Store installed, Dara?
Not on this computer anymore. Okay. I don't.
So 2 years ago at the Game Awards, they announced Hades, that Supergiant game.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Supergiant, and they were like only on the Epic Store, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm getting the Epic Store. And I got it immediately because I love those guys so much, and people were so mad about that. And they get mad about all the different exclusives, and I'm not exactly sure why.
The thing is, like, it's not costing you anything, and the inconvenience is so minor that, like, what's the big deal? Instead of launching one app, you're launching another app. Like, to be quite honest, Steam itself is like kind of annoying too, especially since, you know, like with all of these, if you can't run them online, if you can't run the client online, you kind of can't play your game.
Yeah.
Or
I can't remember the last time I booted up my computer and didn't have to do something for Steam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you need to restart Steam, you need to update me, you need to update me. Epic doesn't really do it to me.
Yeah. But it's I guess like it's a pretty big deal. It puts the value of Epic Games now at almost $18 billion, and I'm tempted to invest in them.
I mean, what are their shares now? They must be insane.
You know, that's a good question, but I won't waste your time looking that up.
Fair enough. So, question, guys: do you think that this is like a power play by Sony against Microsoft here? Are they trying to get some kind of exclusive?
Yeah, I think that they will be able to cut a lot of... you know what it'll be really good for is marketing for Sony first-party titles, when they can do tie-ins with Fortnite and stuff like that. And now Sony has been known to port... you know, a few years later, they've been known to port their first-party titles to PC. So maybe they'll now exclusively do it with Epic as opposed to on... Like, I think you can buy... You know, like Horizon Zero Dawn now is on PC, and like Death Stranding, technically not a first-party title, but pretty goddamn close to Steam or whatever. So maybe they'll cut all of those deals with Epic now.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, think about like I'm, you know, like spitballing. PS5 launches. Let's say that Horizon is a launch title. It's not going to be, but now it's like, yo, you got.
They've already said it's not.
Yeah. All right. Well, in my perfect world, let's say it is, and then like on Fortnite, all of a sudden you got Aloy skins, and you can get like vehicles in the game, which are like the robots and stuff that are in Horizon, or maybe like when God of War 2 comes out, you can get like. You know, like Kratos body paint or whatever for your characters and that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of spectacular cross promotion. And I imagine that this will also give them maybe they'll have to pay less royalty fees when using Unreal Engine as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they don't like entirely own them, but maybe that's got to be some sort of deal.
Epic fully owns Unreal, right? That's their baby, right?
Do they?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's their product. So my thought would be that like Sony would probably get a deal on the royalty fees for Unreal 5.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're absolutely right. They completely own it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad move at all. It probably does put Xbox in like a less advantageous position in terms of just like, you know, their options for collaboration will probably be less than they could have been if it wasn't for this deal.
Well, absolutely. But Xbox is really bringing it this next generation, you know, after they really fell far behind this one. So I bet Sony's a little scared. I bet they're trying to shake things up a little bit.
I think Xbox is bringing it in terms of the hardware, but in terms of the actual games, I'm still not seeing anything that I care about.
Well, I know the backwards compatibility is pretty cool.
That is huge. Well, that's huge for guys like you, and that's something that we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
I think it's huge to a lot of gamers, honestly. Yeah. I think most gamers care about that, actually.
I care about it.
I think it's definitely a good feature, but...
The thing that Xbox brings the hardest, or I think are trying to bring the hardest, has to be the Project X Cloud stuff. Like, it seems like they want to get... Like, I feel like that's the world that they want to live in, and I know PlayStation has worked on that a little bit with PS Now, but they're definitely not going as hard. I think Xbox is trying to play a different game for the future than PlayStation.
I think so, because you just got to bring something different to the table to stand out.
Yeah. And we know Google Stadia is not going to fill that position. That thing is a travesty.
Interestingly, the article actually mentions that obviously, you know, the deal is important for Sony because it needs allies in the upcoming console war. they're going to be launching, the game console competition with Xbox Series X. But Epic has said that its Unreal Engine 5 and Fortnite will work with all game platforms, as Epic has generally been neutral when it comes to making cross-platform technology. Now, I wonder if this is going to have any effect on this deal.
I doubt it. I mean,
you don't think they're going to, like, not force them, but kind of nudge them or encourage them for more exclusivity?
PlayStation nudging.
You gotta think they're thinking about it.
You mean PlayStation nudging
Epic
to be like, we use Unreal and no one else uses Unreal,
or at least like some of their titles, or use of exactly Unreal Engine in general.
I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to do that just because Epic just straight up has fuck you money. Like, I really think they can just do whatever they.
Good point.
Whatever they damn well please, you know.
But at the same time, they kind of agreed to go under their umbrella a little bit, you know.
A minority shareholder, I think, can sway your opinion, but I really don't think they can force your hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's kind of deceiving, right? Like, minority in word, but it's such a huge shareholder as far as stature.
What were you gonna say, Mike?
I was just gonna say, this puts them closer and closer into bed. I mean, they could easily invest more money into their company. And what percent are they in right now?
1.4%.
1.4. So that's not huge, but
you know what I could see.
Depends what the majority stakeholder even owns.
I could see, like, over the course of the PlayStation 5 generation, Epic making like maybe 2 or 3 PlayStation exclusive titles, but they, obviously, I don't think they would do anything that would alienate like their Fortnite fan base. Like, I feel like that would still all be cross-platform no matter what it is. Like, there wouldn't be a skin, or well, maybe that's not right. I'm not really sure.
Like, that's the thing. What is their actual agenda here, right? Like, it's such a small investment. Like, what were they exactly trying to achieve? Just like slowly just getting closer and closer, or just like they were like a few titles here and there, or some
My
deals?
thought is closer marketing collaboration and possibly a deal on first-party PlayStation games paying less in royalties for Unreal Engine. That's the only things I can think of at the moment.
Yeah,
but with the idea of future collaborations down the road, something
maybe
more.
Couple exclusive games here and there, maybe.
Perhaps.
You boys got anything else to say on this one?
I think whatever happens, good stuff will come out of it, because I mean, Sony's a giant company. These guys are massive themselves, and two good companies collaborating obviously is a better product and creativity. So I'm for it. I mean, ultimately, what happens in the background shouldn't matter much. The product and what they have to show us, that's gonna ultimately be the what we should all care about as gamers.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to this backwards compatibility question. I'm reading this one from Eurogamer, written by Lottie Lynn. PS5 backwards compatibility explained how PS4 games will be backwards compatible with the PS5. The PS5 will launch with backwards compatibility as one of the major features, unlike its predecessor, the PS4. This feature was announced during PS5 System Specs Deep Dive. Excuse me, I am burping because I'm drinking Diet Coke. And means that the console will be backwards compatible with a range of titles from the PS4 library. So that doesn't sound like all games from the PS4 library.
No, it does not.
Which consoles will the PS5 be backwards compatible with? The PS5 has only been confirmed to be backwards compatible with PS4 games. The question of whether the PS5 will be backwards compatible with other systems such as PS4, PS3, PS2 titles. It is still to be confirmed. If it is, then players will be able to stream a variety of PS4, PS3, PS2 titles through the service.
Interesting.
So that's an extension of their PS Now product then. During the System Spec Deep Dive, this was in March. I remember watching this. It was pretty boring. Mike Cerny revealed that nearly all of the top 100 PS4 games ranked by playtime would be playable on PS5 at launch. So yeah, I wanted to talk about just backwards compatibility a little bit. And some of the things that bummed me out about this PlayStation generation, because I remember one of my favorite things about PS3 was being able, I mean, it's not technically backwards compatible in the way that you would think, like, I already own this thing, so I can play it on this system. But I loved on the PS3 that I could download my PS1 classics. And that's not a thing on PS4 as far as I can find. Like, I loved playing, like, all the RPGs from the era that I really loved. Superman, Final Fantasy VII, all that kind of stuff, you know.
I don't know if you remember, but the launch PS3s were backwards compatible to PS2 and PS1, but they were $600, I believe.
Yeah, there were two series. Yeah.
And then when they removed that, it got cheaper because that was, I'm not sure how much money that added at the time.
Yeah, but man, people were pissed.
Oh, yeah. And those ones still go for a lot of money, the launch ones.
There's rumors that we're going to get the PS5 price within the next couple of days, and I'm wondering what the price point is that will just make people be like, nah, bruh. You know?
It's not what people want to hear, or else they would have released it already.
Yeah, you're right. They would have said it already. Yeah.
I think $399 would be pretty decent, but
I think that's a dream.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that cheap.
I think
it's going to be more. It's got to be.
The bottom floor, I think it's going to be $499 for the digital edition, which is what I will buy. And
without the CD-ROM.
Yeah, no optical. And I think the one with the optical is going to be $450 or $500. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 400 and then $450 or $500. I don't know.
I hate that this article is forcing me to turn my ad block off. Please.
Don't you know I need to see this site?
So this doesn't mention what games are going to be backwards compatible, just that some will be.
Well, it says it's the top 100 games ranked by playtime. I think they mean across all of their users. You know, so obviously your Amazing Spider-Man is going to be there, Gran Turismo. GTA.
But asterisk, it says that still the whole list might not be available. So
yeah,
but playtime could be like, you know, Madden 2000, you know, 2015, 2016, 2017. You got like 10 of them on there.
That's true. It could be those.
So that wouldn't be good. I mean, hopefully they skip some stuff like that, or at least just put one per of those franchises.
So there was kind of like a broader question that I wanted to ask here, and it's like, when will this not be an issue anymore? Like, when will it be that we're buying into a platform instead of a box, where it's just like how good, you know, that I assume, you know, that's streaming, right? You know, like I feel like eventually one day you're not buying a box, you're just buying a controller and like a little streaming like stick, or you have a smart TV that has your PlayStation application or your Xbox application, and you're playing all this shit off of servers that are somewhere else. Like, how long do you think it's going to be until we don't even have to talk about backwards compatibility anymore? Like, is this the final console generation? I don't know.
No, it depends on internet in other parts of the country. You know, a lot of the United States still has really bad internet infrastructure. And
surprisingly.
Until that improves, this is going to be a big issue.
Like, exactly. I think it's a matter of how much money they can make. And like you said, a huge portion of America that actually doesn't have access to a sort of connection that allows video game streaming, especially if it's like really intense with a lot of bit rate. So would it be a smart investment? Like, would they just do it because they want to come out with the technology and just do it, or is the money gonna be an actual problem there? But here's my question, which is coming from actually on kind of an ignorant perspective. Are architectures different in these consoles? Like, when new Xboxes or PlayStations come out, are they changing the actual architecture in a way that developers have to design their games?
Well, they're definitely changing
them completely differently.
They're definitely changing the chipsets. Yeah, definitely not as much as they used to. But the chipsets are different. But I think that they're very... Like I think the last generation systems ran on AMDs, and I think this generation of systems run on AMDs, right?
I'm not sure about that.
That would be something I would have to look up, but I believe
But if
that
some
is.
games are backwards compatible without needing to get, you know, re-released or redesigned or whatever, that means that it's probably using the same code, you know, probably like that's why it's backwards compatible, right?
Something like Unity isn't that what they use? That they just upgrade the version, but all older versions are still compatible, something like that.
Unity is a development tool. It's a whole development platform for games.
Right.
But that runs on like cell phones and consoles, from what I understand.
Unity's kind of trash. I mean, it can run on like anything, really.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like something I believe that's scalable like that, where a lot of these engines can be run on, you know, like I said, a phone or high-end PC, and they still run the same.
You're not much of a PC gamer anymore, Mike, right? You're not really a PC gamer anymore. But you know, you played WoW. You know all about texture sliders and like shadow detail and all that kind of stuff like that. You would think that you could just deal with sliders as opposed to being like this is a whole different architecture or whatever.
That's the thing. Like if one or some games are backwards compatible, why aren't all? Like what is the main issue? In backwards compatibility?
What's the secret sauce, right? I don't know.
Right?
I did just check, and PS4 and PS5 both do run on different AMD chipsets.
Well, do they? Sometimes when they re-release these games, they have to be sent to the ESRB again.
That is true.
And they charge you. They charge you money for a game that's already been rated as teen or whatever.
So you think it's usually like the issues with the publisher's decision, whether to go through with it or not?
Yeah, it's an additional cost maybe to just allow it to be released on another platform. That could be one of the factors.
I mean, I'm sure money is coming into play here somehow.
Yeah.
Like even how the article says, why just top 100? Yeah. Like obviously, like something needs to be done, but what is it that they can't do it for just like across the whole like all titles? Like what is the thing?
Let's take the Nintendo DS as like an example, right? Did you guys both have DSs?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So what if when you had the DS, which had the Game Boy Advance slot, they were like, yeah, not all cartridges work in here. You'd be like, why?
Which is also strange.
Yeah, it's like
it would be
the
like,
same slot.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. There's some kind of secret weird magic back there that I don't understand. Mike, you were going to say something.
I'll look into this for our next podcast. I'll do a little bit of research on this.
Yeah, let's follow.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do some journalism on that.
But all I was going to say is, the odds of me, when I get a PS5 and I want to still play some PS4 games, like, am I going to want to play the top 100 or am I going to want to play something that might be more obscure and I never got to and it won't be on there?
I mean, like, how many hours have you already put into the top 100? You know what I mean? Like, how many more times can you play The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2? And you know what I mean?
Yeah, Uncharted 4, like all these big games, you're already going to have beaten. Or, if you haven't, then, that's great. But then you're not going to get to play something that maybe wasn't so popular.
Yeah. You're right. It almost doesn't make sense that they're going for, like, the most played ones because I already played so much.
Yeah. Well, the odds of me playing something again I've already played 100 hours of versus me trying something new or, like, I'd say more slim, but do other people just play the same shit all the time? Maybe
they might be marketing to that mom that's like 5 years too late, and now she's buying all of the greatest hits for her kids, the $20 like greatest hits,
I mean, I guess, but like, you played Skyrim by now, like it's over.
That's actually another one of my questions. Is it the top 100 games by playtime? Like of all time on PS4 or active like right now with the most playtime?
I think they're
like
going
the top 100 of the chart now.
They're going by their PlayStation Network stats and compiling everyone's data and figuring out the total playtime of the titles.
What? But then something that's like like an MMO would get the most, right? Like Monster Hunter or something.
Yeah, I imagine that like Final Fantasy 14 would have massive numbers in that
Yeah, because
case.
people play those for like years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, you probably want backwards compatibility on something like that anyway, but like, you know, show
Yeah,
some
to
love
keep the
some other
player
shit.
base.
I mean,
Yeah.
not diminishing those communities at all, because people love those games, but like they are still, I would say, more niche than like something you said before, like Madden, you know, or FIFA.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder if it's going to skew that way too, where like, you know, the MMOs get top priority and some people like some other games get bumped off because of it.
I feel like there would be
weird
like
because they're niche.
I feel like there'd be a special negative consideration for that, where they'd be like, "It's an MMO; it doesn't count." You know?
Yeah. Well, MMOs have a drop off at a certain point. Like people don't play WoW in the numbers they used to. Like
Hey, Mike,
nothing lasts forever.
How many hours did you put into WoW?
I don't want to talk about that.
No, I mean, just how many do you think?
You don't measure that time in hours. You measure it in days.
Yeah,
you measure it in lifetime.
Yeah. Hey, he met his wife off a while, so it all worked out at the end. In the
end. Yeah. Well, I know never to play an MMO again.
No longer looking for a wife.
Yeah, so
dude, I can't believe
that out of the way. We're done with MMOs.
So in
I
college,
have a job now. When I played WoW, WoW was the only thing that I did.
I ruined his life. In college, I was like, let's play WoW. And then I played for 2 months, and then he played for 10 years.
No, it was like 3 or 4 years, but it felt like, well, it felt like 3 or 4 years of playing a video game and not doing anything else.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's crippling addiction.
Yeah, it consumes you a little bit.
Oh, man, I destroyed some noobs, though. Oh, so good times.
He was actually WoW famous on his server.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were getting first at the time, back when I was raiding, you know.
Yeah.
Not world first, but, you know, like server first and all sorts of shit. We were mega nerds that didn't stop playing the game, so we were really good at it.
Yeah.
But
all right,
you know,
that's
a lifestyle you can't live forever.
Let's talk about one of your other obsessions, which is collecting.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Let's talk about this IGN story by Adam Bankhurst.
Oh, I'm glad you pronounced that. So this is actually a story on IGN, but they're referencing a tweet from Kotaku's Chris Kohler. I don't know if you guys know him. He's kind of a famous collector.
I've heard his name
before. Video game writer. He used to write for Wired.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I know him from.
Yeah, he's a very well known video game personality. So he was tweeting about this recent auction. So this is a sealed Super Mario Brothers from 1985, and this is not the normal run. This was actually from the Nintendo test market. I don't know if you guys know a little bit about that or not.
Oh, I know about the Nintendo test market. I can talk about that a little bit. So
yeah, go ahead.
So because of the video game crash of, what is it, 1982?
81, 82, something like that.
Because of that crash, there was a flood of terrible game consoles, and there was also a flood of garbage Atari games, and it crushed. Consumers lost all faith in gaming, and the market collapsed. It fell out from under them, and nobody was buying games. Nintendo Entertainment System, Famicom, comes out in Japan. It does gangbusters, and they're like, this thing is fucking tits. How do we sell this to Westerners? They're like, all right, what we'll do is we'll release it in a few small markets like New York, California, limited run, and we'll market it as an entertainment system. We won't call it a video game system. We'll make it look more like maybe a VCR as opposed to looking like a gaming console. We'll put in a whole bunch of accessories that round everything out, you know, Rob the Robot, the fucking running mat, all that kind of stuff. And basically they put it, I believe, into Sears and a couple other big department stores at the time, and they were like, let us prove to you,
Schwartz.
Yes, let us prove to you that this thing can sell. And it fucking exploded, and after the test markets, they went nationwide.
Yep, that's all correct.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
So the test market games, that they weren't sealed in plastic. I believe they were like they had like a sticker seal or something like that. So this is an unopened one of the original run, which has now been graded by this company called Whatcha. They do you know how comic books are put in those like plastic slabs with like a number on the top, and you can't actually read them, but they're worth money.
Yep.
So this is the same thing, except this is a game and you can't play it because it's in this thing. But it sold for over $100,000, $114,000, making it the highest, I believe, the highest Super Nintendo Brothers copy ever sold. Because one was sold last year for $100,000 and $150, which is ridiculous as well.
So Mike,
that's more expensive than a Black Lotus.
Ooh, is it? How much is a Black Lotus?
I feel like 30 grand, maybe.
So, Mike, as an appreciator of gaming history, physical copies, if you had the money, like, and it wouldn't hurt you, like, would you be sitting there in the auction, you know, holding up your little thing? Would this be something?
Well, I think the second part of your question, I think that's the caveat there, that it does not affect you at all. Like, then why not? Sure, why not?
I mean, if I had just trillions to burn, like, I guess, but like, it's not something that.
Let's say your net worth.
No appeal to me.
Let's say your net worth is $3 million.
And I'd spend $100,000 on a Mario Brothers.
I'm asking. You wouldn't. Okay. All right.
No, that's not that much money for that percentage of it to be spent on a video game. My wife would murder me, number one. But like, even if I didn't have a wife, like, it wouldn't be worth it. You know how many like cool things I could get for that same amount of money?
A house.
Yes. I could get a sweet ass car, like a Lambo. Well, maybe not.
Badass boat.
Ooh.
A boat. You would drown. You would drown easily. I'm positive.
Wow.
Me or him?
You.
Oh, well. I'd wear a life jacket.
There you go.
Does the article talk about the purchaser at all?
I believe it's anonymous, but I'll double check. And it doesn't go into who purchased it. But this is a big trend now. So video games, this company Whatcha is like brand new in the last few years, rating games like this.
Yeah,
and they also auction them too. Like they have a hand in both, grading them and then auctioning them. So collectors are getting older.
Yeah.
And you know, comics are still valuable, but like, you know, shit from like our parents, the boomer generation, like it's. You know, it's not so collectible, and this stuff, and with us hitting our 40s and stuff, we're man babies, we have no children, we got plenty of money.
Yeah,
you know, we're not worried about our retirement because the planet's going to be destroyed by then. So, you know, we're buying all this crap.
Yeah,
I got dark fast.
I'm sorry, that was too real.
Why is it going to get dark every week up in here?
Sorry.
There's always a moment.
Things are gonna get so much better, and it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna be millionaires tomorrow. The world food crisis is going to completely.
No,
disappear.
you know, if anything, one of the things that I like about our podcast is that we're pretty real. You know, we're not here to be all like, yeah, everything's fantastic.
COVID is gonna mutate and give us all 10-inch dicks. It's gonna be great.
There you go.
Oh, 3D printed cocaine.
Although too big.
Mike, do you know this is the World Championship Gold cart still the most sought after cart?
For Nintendo carts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Nintendo World Championships Gold, I think, is the most valuable. And
that's the one.
Stadium Events is way up there too. You know Stadium Events, right?
I know Stadium Events. The gold cart.
Like, how much are we talking here?
Gold cart might be like $100,000 at this point. Stadium Events probably $30,000. I bet.
Do you know what the NES World Championship is, Dara?
No, actually.
It was a tournament. All right, so they made a special cartridge that has like a time limit built into it. So it plays Mario Brothers and then Excite Bike?
Track and Field and Tetris, I think.
Oh, Tetris is the last one. No, Track and Field's not the second one. It's like Excite Bike or something like that. It's hold on.
Is it? Hold on.
Nintendo.
Fun game, by the way.
Which one? Excite Bike?
Yeah.
Nintendo World Championships.
Maybe it's Ridge Racer or something.
Oh,
I feel like it's a racing game.
Sorry, I'm wasting time.
I played so much Excite Bike, so much, and I was so good at it.
Why does that say it? Which games are on it? Well, I know it's Mario, and then the last one is Tetris. I want to say the second one is Dr. Mario. No, it's not. It's definitely not. Well, whatever. So during the
it's a racing game. I'm almost sure. I'm gonna try to find it. You keep talking though.
Whoa, that's some serious thunder. All right, so 1990, I think, is when this came out. There was tournaments that were held in, like, I want to say department stores and Blockbuster, and
it's Rad Racer.
Rad Racer. That's it. That's a Squaresoft game, right?
Square game from way back.
Yeah, before they hit big with all of their RPGs.
Yeah.
So it was like a score attack system for 3
Oh my god,
games.
I remember Rad Racer too. That was such a badass game.
It was a
too.
score attack.
Go on.
A score attack like system for these 3 games, and then your final score was tallied and recorded, and it was sent off, to like Nintendo headquarters, and then all the top people got to compete. Like, I want to say in California,
something like that,
or it could have been like Virginia. Isn't that like Nintendo's headquarters?
No, it's Washington State.
And then they became the Nintendo World Champions if you like got the highest score, and I think one of the prizes was actually the cartridge.
Yes. Yeah, the winners got the gray cartridges, actually, the actual competition ones, and the gold ones were from Nintendo Power.
Yeah. So the Nintendo Power
I'm going to grab another drink, though. I will be right back.
So the Nintendo Power one, they printed, I want to say, like, I don't know, not many, like maybe less than 20. And these things are
really,
yes,
wow.
And they're incredibly coveted by collectors, and they will pay exorbitant amounts of money for them. And it's just one of those things where there's just like none of them. I'm gonna hit eBay real quick.
What's that?
I'm gonna hit eBay real quick and look. Okay, 1990 Nintendo World Championships gold cartridge with a Whatcha 5.0 is on sale at $1 million or best offer. And then a Nintendo World Championship gray with a Whatcha 6.0 is up for $150,000 or best offer. 302 people, a little over 300 are watching both of those auctions right now.
That's actually a lot of people interested in them.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
$1 million or best offer. Oh, it is the most valuable. Well, this is how they're advertising it. The most valuable video game cartridge of all time.
That is insane. So all of these are coming from winners.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, no, the gold. Well, technically, the gray ones come from winners that won that competition. The gold ones come from just raffle winners who were people who got subscriptions to Nintendo Power, the magazine. So like you had to like send in a postcard.
Lucky
or something.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah,
they didn't even need to compete. They didn't even need to like show video game acumen.
You want to know what's funny? I competed in the second one of these at a Blockbuster. I remember they did one for, I think they did one for Super Nintendo, and I remember playing in this, or it could have been a Blockbuster specific thing, but I definitely.
How old were you? Like 12?
Yeah, probably like 12, something like that. Maybe maybe 10. I want to say there was like Super Mario Brothers and some other stuff on there. But I don't know. It's a weird little slice. I love like gaming history and stuff. Like I just rattled off to you like a succinct thing about the video game crash. You know what I mean? Like I love that stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, while we wait for Mike, why don't you tell me what you've been playing this week?
By the way, little side note here, for viewers who are not looking at the articles or listeners, the Nintendo PlayStation prototype.
Oh yeah.
That sold for $360,000.
That's a chunk. It's a chunk. That was
Let me see,
recent
that
too,
was-
wasn't that in like the last 3 months or so?
That was in 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, right before the pandemic hit, that guy went out and bought that.
That is insane too. That's a hell of a lot of money.
I assume you know that whole story, right?
What story?
About the prototype?
No, actually, I don't.
Oh, so Nintendo and PlayStation, right after Super Nintendo, were in talks to make a disc-based system. PlayStation made the prototype. It worked. They fulfilled their end of the bargain. And then Nintendo was like, nah, fuck you, dog. We're not going to do it. Sorry, we're going to break the deal. And
so it never released?
It did. And it was called the PlayStation. Nintendo made their biggest competitor from breaking a deal with Sony.
Wow.
Yeah. They took the tech that they were working on for Nintendo and repurposed it into their own product. That is kicking, kicking the shit out of the rest of all the other consoles to this day. How lovely!
I mean, just the phrase or term Nintendo PlayStation is like what?
Yeah.
You mean Sony PlayStation? No.
I know. It's the Nintendo PlayStation, my friend.
Weird.
All right, bro. What you playing? I think Mike is making an alcoholic drink. He's making and it's not like he's grabbing a beer. I think he's like putting on
unprofessional.
He's putting on like barista clothing right now. He's like lighting it on fire and blowing off the excess alcohol. Something like that is going on.
He's dressed up as an Oktoberfest girl.
I think it's called a beer maid, right?
Are they called beer maids? I don't know.
A beer maiden? Yeah.
So I actually found a pretty cool title.
Yeah.
Which is developed by a little company that you are very well familiar with, Team 17.
Ooh,
most famous for Worms.
You're about to talk about Neon Abyss.
You know it.
Yeah.
How did you know? Is that on your radar too?
Oh, it comes out.
Sorry, I made it back.
It comes out like tonight at midnight.
I know it's the 14th. But is that a midnight release or is it like one of those 11 a.m. sort of shit?
I plan to download it tomorrow.
Yeah. If it's midnight, I'll stay up to get it because did you play the demo?
I did not, but I've watched a lot of media on it.
Okay. It's very cool. It has interesting gimmicks.
Tell Mike T what Neon Abyss is.
So, Mike,
yes, please.
Neon Abyss, developed by Team 17 and I think a couple of other companies I don't remember from the splash screens. But
sounds good.
It's like did you ever play Enter the Gungeon?
No, but I've seen people play it.
Imagine a 2D Isaac clone, Enter the Gungeon clone, 2D side scroller. Platforming.
Take Contra and give it Enter the Gungeon like mechanics.
Yes.
Okay.
And it has like a few gimmicks. Obviously, you go around. You go from room to room. It has the same sort of teleportation system as Enter the Gungeon. You find teleporters. You can go fast travel around the levels, but go from room to room, destroy enemies, run into like shops, deal with the devil sort of stuff. A lot of upgrades for your speed, damage. One of the cool things is that your guns straight up upgrade, so you can go through like a lot of upgrade phases for like the one gun that you're holding, and then you can pick up these items that like modify the weapon you're holding. So it's just like it's kind of about making your main weapon just insanely cool.
Mike might not know what Deal with the Devil really translates to because he's not much of a roguelike guy.
So
I'm looking at stuff on Neon Abyss right now, like some screenshots and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then another cool thing about it is that you can pick up these eggs that follow you, and these eggs have a chance to hatch into a familiar, and these familiars all do something special, and the familiars themselves, the longer you keep them alive, and because they're behind you, but some of them like jump around, so if they get hit, they have like 4 or 5 HP, but if they survive, they level up too, and they become more badass.
Nice.
What else?
Is this Switch? Because it looks like I'm seeing Switch on here.
This will be
I think it's Switch
multi-platform.
and Steam.
Yeah, I think it's going to go into. Oh no, I think it's Steam and PS4.
Really?
Isn't it? I think it's Steam.
I'm
I think
seeing
it's Steam.
Switch here.
Okay.
Poor Mike.
I'm wrong then.
I mean, I could be
say-
wrong.
I've been playing the demo over and over because fortunately the demo is like almost like the actual game. It's not like a curated sort of stage. Like it is randomly generated. If you replay it, you'll keep coming across like different bosses and weapons, and it's really fun. I really liked it. I got so excited in some parts that I recorded. You know how you can record gameplay on your Switch?
Yeah.
In like 30-second increments. I was like, holy crap, I gotta save what is happening with this gun right now, because it's just like shooting 20 pellets that are like just like bouncing around, and like your familiars are like throwing grenades for you, and it just gets so wild.
I think
it's pretty exciting.
I think I want to say the demo is only one biome though, right? I think they're releasing other biomes.
So the demo is not only one biome.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow you to unlock anything like those the progression system, sort of like Rogue Legacy style. You're not allowed to do any of that, and you can't complete a run. You can only do
the first major boss.
No. What do you mean by major?
I watched somebody else play it, but they may have had a pre-release copy, and they fought like 5 little bosses and then a big boy that beat the shit out of them at the end.
Yeah. So the biomes seem to be divided into 5. Okay. I think you're only allowed to play till the end of the 3rd level, or maybe the 4th level. You never reach like the actual like big boss for that biome, but it seems to have like 7 biomes.
I am very excited for this as well. This is really up my alley, super up my alley. Yeah.
I played so much Gungeon, and it has like a gun. I loved it, and this is like a Gungeon formula with some fresh stuff, and it's a roguelike finally on the Switch, and I'm like, yes, give me more of this stuff, baby.
I watched. By the way, it's Switch and PC for tomorrow, and it does say PS4 and Xbox One.
Does it say what time it's going to release?
It just says the 14th. So hopefully midnight.
Hopefully.
It'll probably be midnight PST, so probably like 3 a.m. would be my guess.
I will drop money on it without hesitation.
Oh, dude, I actually, on my PC right now, the Steam page is open to it. I had it open to it before we started talking today.
Bookmarked.
There's something else I wanted to say about it. I can't remember.
It has a lot of different characters with passives and actives, like a huge cast of characters. Like I would say minimum 10.
Oh, you know what? I saw...
So Risk of Rainy there.
I saw Northern Lion playing it, of course. And he finished a run on his Northern Lion Try series. And at the end of it, there were upgrade points that upgraded the dungeon. So, like, the first unlock that he got was guarantees a secret room will spawn every floor. So you not only get items that upgrade, that you can find in the dungeon, but you also upgrade the capabilities of the dungeon with a separate currency.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Super neat.
Did you also see how cool like the whole deal with the devil was set up in a way that you can either go like, I wouldn't say like pacifist, but you can either, what is it, wisdom versus
versus violence.
Yes. So the wisdom one, they are pretty great items, but for the other one you have to sacrifice your heart containers to get a deal.
And he's not talking about take damage. He means sacrifice your heart containers. Like you can never get them back.
Completely downgrade your HP.
You downgrade your HP for super overpowered offensive capabilities.
Yeah, you get something that's just like nuts.
Like you glass cannon?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You playing anything else?
I got this one item that I said, I forget the description, but it was something like keys are no problem anymore. And it was like straight up 99 keys. And I was like, hell yeah.
Was it called like skeleton key or something like that?
No, I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was actually a mask that gave you that. Because another funny thing is you can pick up all of these hats and masks, and they don't replace each other. You just wear them on top of each other.
And they all have like different stat changes and things like that.
Yeah, and like the little goofy, humorous, like flavor texts,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I
little
saw
touches.
Northern Lion. He went to go pick up a mask that looked like the mask from the mask, and he goes, "That is straight up the mask from the mask." And he picks
Was
it up,
it?
and he picks up the flavor text, and the flavor text was "Somebody stop me," and he was like, "I fucking told you."
That's the mask.
Indeed.
Cool little references here and there. Yeah, for sure.
You got
What
anything
about
else,
you, Nick?
Dara? Do you have anything else this week, though, Dara?
That's it. That's the only one that I can think of right now that I'm very excited about. Yeah.
So this week for me, I finished The Last of Us Part 2 on Survivor mode.
Nice.
It was a spectacular
Did it get
playthrough.
toward the end?
It was a great playthrough. Nothing made me mad until the very final encounter, where it was just 100 dudes trying. So I haven't put it up on YouTube yet, but when I put it up, I'm gonna have to put up that section on like 600% speed, because this final thing to get to the final moments of the game took me 2 hours. And the way that I finally did it was I just ran through. I got a couple of stun bombs. I ran into the room where these 7 dudes were that all have perfect aimbot. I stunned them, ran, stun again, jumped over a balcony, and then just skirted through the door. And I was trying to fight them and use all these tactics and everything. And at the end, I just had to cheese it. But besides that,
Kind of the Dark Souls strats.
Yes. But besides that, spectacular playthrough. It was even better on Survivor mode. I'm a big pussy baby. I cried multiple times again. And I am happy to not play The Last of Us anything for quite a while, because I'm like emotionally drained from it.
But it's done, right? Like there's no chance there's gonna be a third one. Like,
well, you
turn it
know,
into a trilogy.
Everyone's got their
Is there room
choice.
for it?
Is there room for it? I think no. I don't think there is room for it, and I hope that they put it to bed. On the stream when I finished it, I was
before
like,
they ruin it.
Yeah,
if it's not already, as if it's not already fucking ruined.
It's not. It's not.
Do they even dare go back to it after everything?
No. Like, I think the story is very tight. I think the new story is totally legitimized. Like, its reason for being makes sense. I just hope that this is the last of The Last of Us. Like, it's perfect. Leave it alone.
Last of Us.
I don't see that you got the platinum though, Nick.
No, I did not get the platinum.
Oof, was that a diss?
You know what's funny though is that
I don't know how bad it is, to be honest, but let's say yes.
What's funny is that Survivor mode, beating Survivor mode, is there's no trophy for that. There are no difficulty based trophies from what I could see.
That's lame.
That's a real achievement, if anything.
Yeah. He's posting my fucking shit. In the he's posting.
You're missing a few things on here. I wasn't sure.
He's posting my trap. My
shame on you, you fucking amateur.
All right. Anyway, and then
I just wasn't sure if you knew.
Besides that,
making $30 on Switch.
Listen, I can't do it. I can't. My soul. I can't handle any more Last of Us right now. Maybe in like a month I'll go back to get the trophies. Anyway,
all right, fair enough.
So besides that, I've also been playing 2v2 Call of Duty with Jesse still. That's still fun, but that's just Call of Duty. Nothing to talk about there. I tried over the weekend Hyperscape, which is Ubisoft's new Battle Royale. And nice. I don't like the way it feels. It's very floaty.
Wait. I think I know which one you're talking about. Can you describe it a little bit?
So you're in like a very, I would say, it kind of looks like a city that looks like London, but more futuristic. Everything is very tight corridors, very packed buildings.
Yeah. That's the one. It's like in an urban setting instead of like open.
It's incredibly vertical. You get a double jump in it. There's many jump pads. The weapons feel bad to me. I don't like the gunplay very much. What's neat about, I think the most cool thing about it is, there are a few cool things, but the thing I like the most is that there's not much inventory management. Like, you don't have healing items, you don't have shielding items. If you get away and you survive, you just get your health back. They have another system called hacks, which is just what they call abilities in this game. So all your characters are generic with the exception of their physical appearance. They don't have their own abilities. You find abilities on the map and you have 2 slots for them. So you have one where you can go invisible for a little while, but you can't deal damage. while you're invisible, one where you can teleport a short distance, one where you can jump super high up in the air and then slam back down, and it's incredibly overpowered. That's actually one of the things I don't like about the game. I think there's a lot of balance problems with the game. It's fun to a point, but like it doesn't feel good, like compared to Apex Legends or even Call of Duty Warzone. Like it just feels floaty and weird and like arcadey. Something about it is not right for what.
Like, sure, do all that random stuff, but like make sure the gunplay feels good.
The gunplay,
if that's a fail, total
the
fail.
The gunplay doesn't feel good. It feels like you're holding toys or something. Like you know in Apex Legends when you're firing like the wingman and the thing's like boom, boom, and
yeah, you feel the impact. It's like,
and when those bullets hit, it's just like smack, smack, smack.
Yeah,
and your bullets are going exactly where you think they should go and shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't have that for me. I'll probably give it a couple more shots. It is still in beta, so I mean, it's not final product.
See, that's how I felt about Fortnite. I felt like the guns didn't feel like they should.
Yeah.
They were like a little too pew-pewy, you know?
And on Twitch right now, starting today, I've been playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for the second time in preparation for Ghost of Tsushima, just to get my head in the shinobi ninja mindset. And with the exception of one mini boss, I was slapping the shit out of it today. I was doing fucking good, and I remember doing really bad the first time I played it. So I think I developed some muscle memory that's still there from like last year when I played it.
That's a title that I still need to play. Like I want to play that game so fucking bad.
It's a masterpiece, man, and it's on PC now.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
I think I just need to put on my PC pants and just do it.
Put your PC pants on. Plug in your Xbox 360 controller or whatever the fuck you got. Your Xbox.
I got a PlayStation 1 in the end.
There you go. PS4 controller.
Too. You know, I gotta, Nick. Yeah. You need to go back to Tower Climb and play it again.
I don't care about
knowing you and knowing your taste in games and the level of challenge that you enjoy and the achievement and all of that, I know you'll love it. I got a PlayStation 4 controller only because of that game. Like, nothing else. Like, I was like, I need to get a better controller to play Tower Climb better and more.
Mike, what you been playing?
He's like, shut up. Moving on.
I haven't really been playing much. I had a long work week, unfortunately, and I haven't played anything new. I'm still playing Ghostbusters, the video game, the remake, and little Puyo Puyo, but nothing new.
Well, you know what? Talk about that Ghostbusters game, because that game's a hidden gem. People don't know how good that game is.
Well, it's just re-released. I'm not sure if that's on PC, but it's definitely on consoles.
Is it the original Ghostbusters game re-released?
It is technically it's like Ghostbusters 3. It's like a sequel to Ghostbusters 2. It's as close
as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
All original cast. I believe it was written by Dan Aykroyd. But it's still video gamey, where it's got, you're going to pretty much all the locations from the movies, but it plays like, I would say, a better Luigi's Mansion. With like the ghost capturing mechanics. It's very similar, where you have to grab them and then kind of wrestle with them, but you have to put them in a trap. In Luigi's Mansion, I think you just run their life down as they try to fight away.
Yeah.
Did you play the latest one, the third one?
No, I skipped it.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion. You drop them to 0 hearts and then it pulls them into the vacuum.
Yeah, I played the 3DS one. Was the last one I played, but that was a long time ago now. But yeah, pretty similar gameplay to that. It's a really, really fun game. It's pretty short. I'd say it's probably like 10 to 15 hours. But like Bill Murray's back, like everybody's back. It's worth playing just for that.
Well, what I would like you to talk about is the gunplay a little bit, because there are some options. It's not just the proton pack.
Okay, no, there's like a electrical gun that also fires off like a shotgun. There's a slime cannon, which
the slime cannon is very cool.
Yeah, it slows enemies down. It can like when you scan, it has like a scanning mechanic, kind of like Metroid Prime, where you can see enemies' weaknesses. So some will say, weak to slime. Some will say weak to regular proton pack. The other one's called the static. And there's a fourth one I haven't gotten yet, which I can't remember what it is.
I don't recall.
I don't know. There is one more, but I'm only on the fourth mission. So I think there's 6 total, where you go back to the hotel from the first one, then back to the library from the first movie, then you go to the Natural History Museum from the third one with Vigo.
Yep.
And then I think can't remember what the next level is. But I haven't started it yet. So
well, the final level, you've played it, right?
I beaten it, yeah, in the past.
Okay, the final level is you go into like a trans-dimensional portal to like Gozer's realm.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be hell. It's supposed to be the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters in hell.
Yeah.
Which was what the third movie was originally supposed to be. They were going to like up the ante and have them actually go to hell.
One of the things I like most about that narrative is that you play the new guy, you play the trainee, so you have all 4 of them with you, and you've got them in your ear the whole time. So you don't play as any Egon or anyone else. But you're kind of like you're the silent protagonist, kind of like along for the ride, and it's fun.
Yeah, you're like Chrono at a Chrono Trigger. You're there, but you're not saying a word.
Yeah.
Then Bill Murray's cracking jokes, and oh, we're gonna have the new guy test this shit, and new guy will walk through the portal here. He doesn't mind.
And Bill Murray kind of sounds like he gives a shit for some reason. Like,
yeah.
It's funny that he actually cared to do good voice acting for this project, where like he's been not wanting to do another Ghostbusters movie for like ever, and he literally had himself get killed off in that horrible 2016 remake.
Oh, let's not talk about that either, man. That's right. But yeah, he I'm assuming he just got paid to sit in a sound booth, and he was like, I'll collect a paycheck for this.
Yeah.
But he sounds like he's having a good time. So maybe he's just hanging out with his buddies and doing cocaine or whatever.
All right. Anything else, boys?
I still haven't gotten Bloodstained 2. I really hope I will by the next time we meet, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
That's on my wish list because it's out on Switch too.
Yeah.
Very excited about that one too, actually. Yeah.
All right, everybody. That was what you're playing for whatever this week is. What is it?
7/13
for 7/13, July 13th. This is going to get posted actually on July 14th because I got shit to do tonight. And
go get Neon Chrome right now because it's available.
And come to my goddamn Twitch channel, twitch.tv/He'sBackGames. We're giving away Amazon gift cards all week. And that's it.
Plug.
Smart.
All right.
I'll talk to you boys next week.
Thanks for watching and listening. Bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.